Hi folks, it's ScrappyKathy again. Just in case you're wondering, I'm putting lots of layout share videos out because I'm committed to not putting them away in albums until I've done a share video. So I had a huge stack and I get Calvin ball points for putting away albums or putting away layouts into albums. So as quickly as I possibly can, I'm going to go through February layouts. February is always load month, and that's my primary focus, is to get a layout done each day, preferably to the prompt. And these days Alice is giving a story prompt and a technique prompt, and I try to do both. So in this past month of February, there were challenges at Mind the Scrap, Secret Not Secret, including a Layout Palooza weekend, which was kind of a whole series of online classes where some beautiful layouts got produced. There was a ribbon stash busting focus at For the Love of Pretty Paper that I really got whole hog into because I have lots of ribbon. And there was a chipboard focus at StashBust, and I was committed to not hoarding my Bramble Fox perspectives as much as I had. And I also had a lot of Cheeky Studios florals that I wanted to use before the 2019 florals come out. So I had lots of things going on. I'm not going to get into what challenges each layout was produced for, but I'm going to start right now with the one that I think is probably my favorite of the whole month. This is the challenge. The technique prompt was to do a stenciled background that was rainbow. So I did I had just done a challenge at Secret Not Secret at their party using perfect pearls and glimmer mists, things like that. So I tried those through kind of a swirly stencil, and that's how I got this. Used florals, camera, not really wanting to over embellish it because I wanted the photo to shine. I've just come across some photos of my older grandchildren back when they were tiny and made their first trip to Disney. So this is a Disney page with that doesn't look like a Disney page other than her little hat. Okay, that's more than I'm going to say about the others. I don't know if you've ever heard of these tablets of things called the Lazy Scrapbooker, but they've already got pre-designed pages, and they've got little slits where you can slide your photo in. And I did that on this page and added a few other photos, kind of added some titles, and I typically add some other embellishments. This is for days when I need a load page and I don't have any time. I just kind of slide things in and go with it. Love how it turned out. This is another one of those where I just kind of put the picture there. I added these clouds on which I put my title, and on from there. This is a kind of a love letter to my hubby, and I'm using some ribbon there that I got in a Secret Not Secret kit and have been looking for just the right page to use it on. And this paper was already divided into those triangles, so I thought it would be a nice touch. Let's see. This one is my favorite part of it is the wood grain background, just a collage of garden flora and fauna scenes from a road trip that we took across the U.S. back in 2016. This one is I think it's based on a design. I don't know what I have on the back. It's a through the looking. Oh, it's a then and now. These are older pictures of the kids, newer pictures of the kids, and a split personality kind of page. This one was obviously done for the ribbon challenge. The ribbon was meant to represent a road, places we've called home, from the place that we got married in, to our penthouse in Brussels, and our loft in downtown Houston, to our first pool at the Woodlands in Houston, and our pool in Jackson, to our RV that we lived in after the Woodlands home sold, before we retired and moved to Jackson, and then our little garden outside the door in our basement apartment that we've built out here in Georgia. This layout, lots of ribbon here. I covered cardstock with ribbon and then die cut circles, and I lifted a design, a page that Emma Clark had done on Mind the Scrap, and this one, the Crafty Ribbons challenge, and I won some more ribbon. So I used lots of ribbon and I won some more. This one is a very plain one. It uses one of my Bramble Fox perspectives. I decided to run the picture of the kids all the way across. I added some ribbon here and here, along with some washi tape, and that took about 10 minutes to do. Not a tough one. This is a 2-page spread with photos from a trip to Seattle and Victoria that we took in 1998. And I just came across the photos. This was a layout done at the Secret Not Secret Layout Palooza. So I love it. It was a boy. It was meant to scrap about a boy, and I managed to use it for a travel page. This is an interactive page that was also done at Layout Palooza. I finished this one after the Palooza was over, after I signed off of Palooza. It just got miscellaneous family photos, and I used the title Bright Days Ahead and showed some of the bright days in the past. Another interactive one that I won't open up. This is a Valentine themed page about my hubby, and I used a photo I use all the time. It's probably one of my favorite pictures of us. This one is lifted from, I scrap lifted Emma Clark from Mind the Scrap, and used bits and pieces from Mind the Scrap kits from different months, and just the cutest picture in the universe of my granddaughter asking me to play with her on the skateboard. Another Ava picture. This one was done at Layout Palooza, and it uses 3x4 pocket page cards, and just a beautiful setting for this beach photo. Here's a Katie page, my oldest granddaughter, and I love this clothesline design. I used it again for a sports page later. It may be in this batch, but here's probably my favorite page from Layout Palooza. I love the Amy Tangerine papers. Here is the very first layout I think we did at Layout Palooza, and it uses entirely Project Life cards or cut apart cards from a single collection. Another one that uses from Layout Palooza that's using probably one of my it's one of my skinny pictures, and it kind of talks about how I need to stay focused and inhale and exhale and yes please and all these diet reaffirming kinds of sentiments. So another Layout Palooza. This is a scene walking to the beach from our hotel in Kauai, or no, on the Big Island in Hawaii. And the colors were just perfect for the papers that came for this page in Layout Palooza. So I just thought it looked amazing once I'd put it together. And another Layout Palooza layout. This one about a joint birthday celebration when we drove up from Houston to Georgia. This one was from a class that Sarah Scraps taught on this technique right here, which I'm losing the iris folding. I had to look at the backs. That's what happens when you get old. And I used some photos of my husband and me, some of our more romantic photos, and I thought those flowers would look nice. This is not at all my color palette, nor my style of page, but I absolutely adore how it turned out, and I will be doing more. This is more, my page. It's obviously using lots of ribbon. And there was some mixed media there. I have some white texture paste through a stencil, and the prompt at load was about the Good Witch. So I thought I made a good witch in this photo. So I used it. And this is using Mind the Scrap kit pieces and lots of purple. I used some, just kind of scraped some paint in the background there and let it match or not match, as the case may be, these cloud papers in the corner. Here's another ribbon layout where I kind of hid the journaling inside a little booklet that I wanted to tuck behind there. It didn't seem to be tucking, but used lots and lots of ribbon there for a picture of Katie at Disney. This one, more ribbon running the other direction and in different colors, about a baking activity with my grandson and one of his best friends and basketball teammates. And my grandson loves to cook down here in my basement kitchen. This one is an October afternoon. It's full of October afternoon stuff. I'm a huge October afternoon fan, and I have lots of it hoarded away. This one is about the birth of my granddaughter, Katie, the little girl who was at Disney a while ago. This was, the load prompt was about a favorite article of clothing. So I went back and found myself wearing this Marina Rinaldi navy sweater vest at Katie's birth just last November at a retreat in North Carolina that's sponsored by Heather's Crafty Little Life, and Heather Little, and various events, and I'm wearing it. So I'm actually taking it with me to the retreat I'm going to this weekend. It's my favorite wardrobe item. It fits me when I'm skinny and fits me when I'm fat. And I have the illusion in my own mind that it hides the fact that I'm fat. So this one is a mixed media background done with blues and purples in my entire line of Distress Oxides. And I did it for these pictures of Katie showing her gorgeous blue eyes. And I love this page. I hope she does. She's into makeup and hair design. So I had this little piece of flair that I got at Heather's retreat that's kind of a messy bun, getting things done sort of theme, but I thought it would be appropriate there, and I was actually copying a layout that had some real stitching, and I used these fake stitches kind of radiating out from there. So that's my, my attempt there. This next one is an entirely 100% digital, using digital supplies. This is a piece of artwork done, self-portraits done by my granddaughter Allie, and everything you see here are digital supplies, and it was done very, very quickly, and even the framework, those are digital sequins. This is digital thread, digital stitching. That's a digital paper strip. We have digital ribbons for the ribbon, so it worked for the ribbon StashBust, and colored pencils. I used other little, anything that had anything to do with art. I use there. This is another mixed media background. This one done with color burst, and I like, usually my color bursts are more dense, and I like that this one has some white spots showing. I used a black and white photo because there was so much color everywhere else, and then I piled on lots of Cheeky Studio florals. This one has a picture of my granddaughter doing her homework in my hospital room when I was getting my second knee replacement. And it's hey Ma, can you help me with my homework? The typical routine was that we'd pick her up from school while her dad was at work, and she'd come down to our apartment, do her homework at our table, get a little after-school snack, and we'd check her homework and let her dad know that she had done it and how well she had done. And she decided that she still wanted to do that and asked me on the phone. So her dad actually brought her down to the hospital after school one day, and she and I worked on her homework while we were there. This one is a busy, you talk about a grid layout being kind of orderly. This one is anything but. It's about ugly sweaters, and my son gave us some Houston Texans ugly sweaters on Christmas Day. So these photos were all taken on Christmas Day. I used supplies from new and old Christmas collections and hand cut the word ugly out of one of the papers. So love that layout just because it's busy. This one is a scrap lift of Christina Sorge, one that she had done and posted in Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I didn't have the supplies that she had, but I used something similar in the way of a color scheme to have a picture of my son and grandson at about the same age, and showing how much alike they look. And so it has lots of sports junk on it because they're both heavily into sports. I actually made my own thickers here. These were cardstock letters that I just kind of pulled out. They were perforated. I pulled them out. I mounted them on foam, and then I fussy cut the foam around them. So they kind of look like puffy thickers, right? And I loved Christina's clusters. I loved the big triangle and the strip that matched it. So that was my attempt to lift her. This is one about my son's favorite book when he was growing up, and I did everything black and white except the photos, and I think that might have been the challenge. Black and white with color pictures, so it's about a surprise. And this lettering, similar to the other, is I printed it, then I fussy cut it out, and then mounted it on foam, so it kind of looks like thickers. This one is a mixed media layout and a ribbon layout done digitally. At least the mixed media is digital. Those paint swipes were from a digital designer named Amber LaBelle. And it was a piece that she had given away free on a blog hop one time. And I loved it. I found strips of ribbon that matched each color. Used a picture that I just discovered of my son. Another Bramble Fox perspective here, and this little heart frame is one as well. And this one has a lot of junk on it, just things that I needed to use. I added some ribbon here and here to qualify to enter the ribbon contest. This is my grandson Barrett bowling. In the same picture, this one zoomed in a little farther and edited to make the colors brighter. These were the outsides of some stickers that I had taken out, and I kind of fussy cut around them. Black ink spots, just tons of junk, clothespin there, just bits and bits of layers. I included a pencil. It was kind of sitting out, and I had no idea how I was going to use it, but you used to use pencils to keep bowling scores, right? So for some reason, I love that layout. This one is one that is the base, the photos, the round photos are digital. I brought in the round shape and then used them as a mask to bring in different edits of the same palm tree photo that I took in Fiji. And this has lots of, this is a Bramble Fox perspective. This garland, as are these, this garland is silk tropical leaves that I got in a Secret Not Secret kit from Christina, and every month I ask for more because I use it up. I do lots of tropical themed layouts. So that's the last one I had in my stack. I'm gonna stop now, go file these away, get my Calvin ball points, get my bags packed for the Rediscover Your Stash Secret Not Secret retreat in Ohio, and I leave at 6:30 tomorrow morning. I'll be joining in Calvin Ball from there. Might try to make a video, but I wouldn't count on it. Bye.